That is how you do a Boy Meets World reunion. Hey guys, it's Kevin again, and this is going to be my review for Girl Meets World, Season 1, Episode 16, Girl Meets Home for the holidays. And guys, this was the episode we were all looking forward to. I mean, the whole reason that I'm watching the show is because it's a sequel to Girl Meets World. And this episode, honestly, just felt like classic Boy Meets World again, because Shawn was back, Cory's parents were back, Joshua Matthews was back. All we needed was Eric and Feeney, and we've already seen Feeney in one episode, so all we really need is Eric. And this episode did not disappoint. It was the perfect reunion. The whole reason I was really looking forward to the episode was because it was a Boy Meets World reunion, and that's what this episode did. I mean, really, this episode threw out so many Boy Meets World references, one after the other. We had so many returns of classic Boy Meets World jokes. It was such a great episode. By far the best episode of the season. Absolutely loved it. It was a perfect episode. And honestly, at this point, just keep Shawn on the show, okay? Him and Cory just have this bond, and it just works perfectly. When you put him back, it's worked perfectly. And let's just get this episode because it was amazing. So, Riley wants Christmas to be perfect. You know, this is the Christmas episode. And the reason it's the Christmas episode is because Girl Meets World will actually not be coming back till January 2015. This is the last episode of December. So, just so you guys know, I wasn't sure if you knew that, but this is the very last episode of December. So, Riley really wants Maya to have a really good Christmas because it's her first Christmas with the Matthews, and Topanga's freaking out because Cory's parents are coming, and Cory's just excited that Shawn is coming, and I love that he was trying to be there for Topanga, and then she said to him, Liar, because of course they always said that to each other in Boy Meets World. You know, they always said that, Liar like that. That was such a great quote. I always love when they said that. And they said it again. I thought that was great. And the ornament that Cory had of Cory and Shawn was priceless. The Cory and Shawn forever thing, that was hilarious. So, the doorbell rings, and, Cory thinks it's gonna be Shawn. He's, like, so excited. He's like, Shawn, and it's Maya. And, Maya thinks that Shawn doesn't exist. I thought that was hilarious. I mean, Maya had some great lines in this episode, really. And then the doorbell rings again, and it's Cory's parents, Amy and Alan, and Topanga's kind of worried because she's worried what Amy is going to think of her cooking, because she is cooking something that Amy does. And of course, Amy wanted to be, the mother figure in Topanga's life, so she's going to be very critical and everything. So they come through the door, and I was, like, so happy to see them. You hear the audience cheer. I mean, it was amazing to see how excited the audience really was to see Amy and Alan again. It was such a great moment. The way they came through, and when they came through, of course, it was great to see them again, and Alan's happy to see Cory and Topanga again, and it was really great to see, Cory's parents back on the show, because, of course, they are the people who we think of as Cory's parents. I mean, I agree with what people have said. Sometimes it's hard to believe that Cory and Topanga are the, mother-father figure, or the mother, or the parents on the show. We're so used to Amy and Alan that it was great to see them again. And then who else comes through the door? Joshua Matthews. And what I loved about this is that we really did not see a lot of Joshua Matthews on the show. We saw him very briefly in Season 6, and the most we got out of him was that last scene in the last episode. That was, the scene where he's like, where Cory was talking to his brother. That was really a really big scene we saw of Joshua Matthews. So to see him again was great. And you can see that he's kind of a younger Cory. I mean, he really is. He's a teenager now. He acts a lot like Cory. He's very mischievous. And Maya takes a liking to him immediately. I love that, basically, he is Riley's uncle. And I love that Maya said, well, I could be your aunt. And I thought that was really funny with her and Joshua. We didn't get a lot of that, but I think Josh is going to be on the show for a while. I thought I heard that. Uriah Shelton, very good actor. But I thought he was definitely very funny. I really enjoyed his character. I like the romance between him and Maya. But by far, this episode really picks up the second Shawn walks through the door. The second he walks through the door is so funny. He's just like, gee, Cory, I didn't think you'd be this, I thought you'd be more excited to see me. And Cory just, like, hugs him and everything. And we got that amazing bromance back. Because, of course, when Cory and Shawn are together, they're like a married couple. We know this. I mean, there are literally fan fictions about them because people ship them together. That's how great their friendship is. They act like a married couple. They do. And I love that the second he returned, and Cory was like, my favorite person, and my wife. And Topanga's like, I want to divorce you now. I thought that was hilarious. I mean, it really felt like classic Boy Meets World because these were the three central characters, and now we got them back. So I love that Cory and Shawn were basically competing with Riley and Maya to see if they have a stronger friendship. I thought that was great when we saw that. Of course, you know, Riley and Maya do not have as strong as a friendship as Cory and Topanga, but basically, one of the funniest parts is when Riley and Maya said the same, we're having that conversation, and then we cut to Cory and Shawn who said the same exact thing in that conversation. I thought that was hilarious when we saw that, because it really shows how, you know, Riley and Maya are exactly like Cory and Shawn. I thought that was great. The part where they basically, you know, said that they could read each other's minds, I thought was great, especially the part where, you know, they said, what was the line? Basically, let me try to find the line. Oh, here, this was the line. They were like, what am I thinking of? 1, 2, 3, pizza. 1, 2, 3, clowns. 1, 2, 3, Farkle. I thought that was hilarious when that happened. And then Cory and Shawn did it as well. And the episode was very funny right here, but then the episode kind of got a little bit dramatic because Riley wants to know why Shawn hasn't been there for her his whole life, why he just randomly came back to New York, you know, where has he been all this time? Because this is her, you know, uncle and everything. You know, this is really her uncle. And yes, Josh is also her uncle, but Shawn is really the representative uncle here, and she wants to know why Shawn's not been there her whole life, and she wants to know if he really cares about her. So she starts asking when her birthday is, and he doesn't answer, and she starts to get kind of upset about that. And I like seeing that with this. It really was a good continuation of Shawn, because of course, you know, it seems like it's all about jealousy and everything, but it wasn't. And I also love the scene where Cory and Shawn are talking about how happy they are to be back together, and Cory came up with that spin-off. I love the line where he's like, we're not on some TV show, I'm not your neighbor or anything. And I thought that was just such a great line. It was great to see them act like so hilarious and so like gay and everything. It was so funny. They're so great as friends, really they are. Shawn was kind of being mean to Riley though. He kind of was. I mean, he was kind of just avoiding her. And I like that Maya confronted him about it. I really did, because Maya, of course, cares about, you know, Riley more than anything. And Shawn, of course, cares about Cory. But one of the funniest scenes in this episode is when Alan is passed out, and Josh and Augie go up to him. And I love how they bonded, because, of course, Josh is the younger brother to Cory, and Augie's the younger brother to Riley. I thought that was great. We see them go up to Alan. He's passed out. And then you hear Cory and Shawn, and you hear the famous snore that's like, beep, 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 beep. Remember when they snored, they always did that? We hear that again, and I was so excited when we saw that. The littlest things that they did, I loved, because it was so funny to watch, and they always did that, of course. You know those times when they pretended to fall asleep in Mr. Feeney's class, they would do that. It was so funny to watch that. It really felt like they were just back in high school again. It really shows that these two have not changed at all since high school. They really haven't. They're the same people that they were since then, and I thought that was hilarious. So eventually, though, Riley really wants an answer. She's really sick of what's going on. So Maya wants to talk to Shawn about this, definitely. And we see that, what I love is that we saw that Maya and Shawn were very much the same person. They really were. I mean, Shawn is basically Maya in many ways. I mean, Shawn's mother took off. Maya's father took off. You know, her father lives with a different person. Shawn barely sees his dad. Maya barely sees her mom. There's that. There's the fact that Maya and Shawn both have very bad childhoods. They don't have a very good childhood right now. Basically, we see that they start to bond a lot, definitely, and I thought that was very well done. And we actually find out why Shawn's actually back, because Cory really wanted to know why he's back. And I love that Riley just, was like, you two, go to your room. I thought that was very funny when she wanted to talk to them. So they go up to the room and they go up to their room and everything, and Shawn's like, why is she doing this to me? Why am I here? And he basically tells Cory the real reason why he is suddenly back. because he doesn't have much of a life. Cory had a life. You know, his life started when he had, when he married Topanga. But of course, Shawn didn't really get to have a life. He didn't. And he's kind of jealous of Cory because of that. And he really wanted to have a life, but he doesn't have much of one because of the direction his life took. And, I was thinking maybe he'd meet up with Angela or something again. A lot of people thought that's what was going to happen, but that didn't happen. And basically, we see that Shawn really hasn't been there a lot for Riley, and he doesn't know how to be the cool uncle. He wants to be the cool uncle, but he doesn't know how to be. He doesn't know how to be an uncle to Riley. He really doesn't. And then there's that moment. This was probably the funniest scene in the episode. Personally, I thought this was hilarious. Farkle comes through the door again. I love the way they've been using Farkle lately. He just randomly pops up, and it's great, because every time he pops up, the audience, cheers, and there he is. And, of course, he says his signature line, "Hello, ladies," but it's Cory and Shawn just looks at Cory and he's like, "Minkus?" And Cory's like, "Yeah," and he's like, "Minkus reproduced?" And I thought that was so funny, because think about it. Who would have ever thought that Minkus had a child? I mean, really, I always have thought that since Farkle's been on the show. It's hilarious to watch. I thought that was great, and I thought that was definitely very, very funny. But then, of course, there's that part where Riley has Maya and Shawn in the same room, and she closed the door, and they realize they are so much alike, and, basically, Maya says, "I wouldn't want anyone to, basically give me that life. I wouldn't want anyone to, let me have that life," and Shawn's just like, "Oh." So I'm kind of feeling like there's going to be something where, you remember how Mr. Turner was a father to Shawn? I kind of feel like that's what's going to happen to Maya, where Shawn might end up becoming her father figure. Maybe he'll try to take her in. Maybe he'll get her to live with him. I mean, Shawn could be a very good father to Maya, definitely, because he is basically exactly like Maya. Him and Maya are very much alike, and I could definitely see him be a father to her. I'd actually would really like to see that happen, and if that does happen, I think it could be definitely a very well-done thing. So then we get back, and Cory gives this really beautiful speech to Topanga about how high school's over and everything, about how he's very happy to see his parents, his best friend, and have his wife, and he gives Topanga a present. She's like, "Oh, you already gave me enough," but he gives her, this spa thing. She's, freaking out about it, and you can see that Al and Amy are very happy to see that Cory has great kids, and, a great wife. Really, he's really having a great life. Really, he is. And this episode, in many ways, was more about Cory and Shawn than it was about Riley and Maya. It was just about them. It was just as much about them, but it focused a lot more on Cory and Shawn, and I noticed that. I definitely really liked that a lot. I thought that was very well done. And then the last scene, of course, Shawn takes a picture of all of them for Christmas, and Shawn says that he's working on this new book, basically. He's a journalist now, by the way. He's a journalist. That's basically the life he has. He's a writer and photographer. And he wants Cory and Maya and, Topanga and Riley to come on the road with him. And here's what I'm thinking. I'm really thinking that he's just going to stick around for the rest of the show and then maybe make him a series regular in Season 2. I'd love to see that happen because Shawn has added so much to this show. Shawn has added a very good recurring plot that I'm definitely interested in seeing, and that is, can he be the father figure to Maya? I want to see that happen in the finale. I really feel like the finale, that's what's going to happen. If they keep Shawn on the show, till then, I know he's supposed to stay in 2 episodes, but I really want to see him stick around for more. I feel like they're kind of being secret in that he's going to be around for the rest of this, season. I really want to see that happen. I know Josh is supposed to stay on for a lot, and he's supposed to come up a lot, which is great because I love the bond between him and Maya, almost more than I do with Lucas. Honestly, these last 2 episodes, I have not missed Lucas. I mean, it really shows how much, Lucas is not that good of a character because he hasn't been on the show for 2 episodes, and I haven't even noticed. But there were so many great moments in this episode. I really loved everything here. By far the best episode of the season. I loved everything that was going on in this episode. Let me know what you guys saw this episode. Was this the Boy Meets World reunion you wanted? It was totally that. I love seeing Cory and Shawn joke around so much and basically be like, the best friends and act like they are, a gay couple. It was so funny to watch that. It was fun to see Topanga jealous of them. It was fun to see Cory's parents back. What did you think of that? What did you think of Maya's crush on Josh? I thought that was very funny. I'm wondering if that's going to go somewhere. I know a lot of people do ship them together. I can't say I do because we've seen them together in, like, one scene. Do you think that Shawn could be a good father to Maya? I definitely want to see him try to father her. I could definitely see that happening. I think he'd be a very good father to her. Really, I think he would. I think he would be probably the best father she could have. I mean, really, he could be. What did you think of the references to Boy Meets World? There were so many references in this episode. I honestly thought we were going to get some flashbacks. I really did. I felt like they were going to show some flashbacks with Cory and Shawn. A lot of things that they were going to show, but they ended up not showing it. And I thought they would, but I think they didn't show them because we need to see, because this was basically just, and they really made this episode try to just feel like another episode of Boy Meets World. That's really what they did. They made it seem like a future episode of Boy Meets World, and I love that. And the fact that Girl Meets World did that, I really love, because, I mean, this show's on Disney Channel, and not a lot of people who watch this show, the younger viewers, do not know who Cory and Shawn are. So, them seeing them together was great. It was great for them to see that. They now know what Boy Meets World is. They're going to love Boy Meets World, and I really love that. And honestly, I feel like Disney Channel, after this episode, should start to run reruns of Boy Meets World again, just to show how great Cory and Shawn really did work together. I mean, they really have great chemistry, and Riley and Maya have great chemistry too, don't get me wrong, but nothing can compare to Cory and Shawn, definitely. But that's in my review. There's also a great moment where Riley says, I would never go anywhere without Maya, and yeah, that's very much like Cory and Shawn. And Topanga says that's really a great life, and we basically see that that's very parallel to them. But I love the parallels. I loved everything that was going on this episode. And I will see you guys in my next video, but Girl Meets World is done for the season. This is the end, I mean, done for 2014 at least. That was the last episode of 2014. So I definitely like that this was the last episode because it set up a lot of storylines. It set up a lot of cliffhangers. It set up a lot of possible things that could happen. And I like that Girl Meets World is doing that because Boy Meets World has done very good recurring storylines. And I think Girl Meets World is really going to start to get into that. Also, guys, it was confirmed, I do want to talk about a few things about Season 2. It was confirmed that Eric and Feeney are coming back because there's an episode called Girl Meets Mr. Squirrels. Now, of course, Girl Meets Mr. Squirrels might refer to Plays with Squirrels with Eric, and I could definitely see them coming back. And I believe that they said Shawn is going to be a series regular in Season 2, and if that's true, I'm very excited to see where they take him. Cory's parents was great to see, but Shawn, we have to see. I mean, Shawn's such an essential part of Boy Meets World that we have to see him more on the show. I really hope we do. I really hope he's focused as much as he was in this episode because I love seeing him, being that focused. That was great to watch. But I will see you guys in my next video, which will be my review for tonight's episode of The Missing, and I will see you guys for that. Sorry, guys, I'm rambling, but this episode was just amazing. I'll see you guys in my next video. Okay, bye.